This is a short introduction to the strengths of Google Scholar. We're going to accentuate the positive here, and to save time and breath, let's just call it Scholar. So you've no doubt been to google.com, and now it's time to go to scholar.google.com. And we're assuming you've already set your library links to UNB so you can access all the great content we subscribe to. But if not, check out the previous tutorial in this series, available from any education subject guide under the Web Tutorials tab. We're going to search for exceptionalities in classroom management. You don't have to put the and in there, it's just assumed. And we want to force a phrase. More on this shortly, but keep this tip in your back pocket for now. So if you've never been here before, you might not know how results are sorted, but one of the things you can do is specify date ranges. Let's just say we're going to specify a custom range of 2010 to 2020, so the last 10 years. We'll hit search again. Results are going to be a mix of open access materials that is freely available to all and subscription only items. And if you've set your library links to UNB, you might not even be able to tell the difference, and it's just as well. Far less important than the access itself. There are multiple access points, sometimes to the right, sometimes you can just click on the title. And sometimes, if it is neither open access nor part of a UNB subscription, then document delivery will be your best option. And if you're unfamiliar with that, check out my related tutorial, again on any subject guide, in the education area. A quick word on the relationship between your search terms and Scholar's search algorithm or strategy. Scholar does not use a controlled vocabulary, but it has access to the full text of every item in its index, and processing power to burn, so it can make clever conceptual leaps and educated guesses on what you're looking for, with a sliding margin of error. But if you take the approach of changing just one element of your search at a time, for example, why don't we add Canada here? And note that you can force a bit of control vocabulary by at least using quotations around multiple terms. And if you stick with this strategy, changing only one thing at a time to see how it affects search results, then you begin to get a sense of the rhythm and flow, and you begin to move with Scholar in a sort of dance. So you can focus in and out with your search. Let's say I'm going to swap out exceptionalities for something more specific, perhaps autism, and run my search again. Or perhaps I'll swap out classroom management for teaching strategies. First without the quotations, and then with, just to see how it affects search results. It can take a bit of fretwork, but your confidence in the process grows with each pass through, just by changing a single variable at a time and noting how it affects your search results. So again, we can go to links on the right here. Could also click on the title, and in this case it's taking us more or less to the same place. It's not worth getting into the reasons why there are multiple links everywhere. It's just good to know that if one click doesn't work, try another. Sometimes you'll see these check for full text links. And then this might be a screen that you're familiar with. It's providing two different access points with the view full text links therein. A couple features to mention quickly, starting with my favorite, and that is the cited by link, which also provides a clue to how Scholar decides what is relevant. You'll often find that the top search results are generally those with high cited by count. So Scholar prioritizes items that have been most cited or referred to by other scholarly writings that meet your search criteria. Even more interesting is that the related hyperlink provides the means of drawing the web of connections between pieces of scholarship forward in time from the original source's publication date. And then you can again sort these, let's say since 2016, dropped a few results out. You could search within this subset. So let's say I wanted to further qualify my search about autism and teaching strategies in Canada by focusing on, let's say, elementary school. Or maybe I would try primary, but I'm guessing that Google's thesaurus handles that anyways. And again, we could move even further along in time by clicking on another cited by. In this case, we're moving from this 2017 article forward to the 38 articles that have cited it. What else? You can grab quick citations by clicking on the quotation icon underneath each result. And if you have a Google account and are signed into it, you can save articles and references to them. Then go to your library to view what you've saved. So to conclude, I wouldn't rely solely on Scholar for your searching. The traditional database sources such as ERIC Academic Search Premier, PsycInfo, etc. still offer unparalleled support for developing sophisticated searches. But if you use Scholar enough and employ search strategies similar to what I propose here, then it is a brilliant added feather in your thinking cap. And I'll also note that much material is only indexed in Google Scholar. A lot of open access sources, particularly newer independent journals, conference proceedings, and institutional repositories in and out of North America, but particularly those outside North America, aren't always well represented in some of the traditional databases. That's it. Any questions? Feel free to drop me a line.